Good afternoon. Today I do have some time, so I thought, what could I do for the Shaman Oracle Readers viewers? And because we didn't do the dream symbols for a while, I thought we do them today for a little bit. So welcome everyone. Today is Thursday and the weather here is pretty nice. The sun came out, which is good. And so let us start the dream symbols reading. We finished off and now start with the parades and ticker tape parades or Mardi Gras parades, Pride parades, or St. Patrick's Day parades. All are reasons worth celebrating, right? Whether it is a neighborhood affair or a citywide festival, parades, they are spectacles, often involving some marching bands, floats, and grand marshals. What was your dream parade like? Is there something in your waking life worth celebrating, worthy of a miles-long procession? So think about your role in the dream parade. Were you on the sidelines, wanting to join or leading the band? And how did you feel about your role? This dream might be reminding you of your waking life commitments and how active a role you play in the parts worthy of showing off. So your dream might have been about where you were in the parade, or maybe you just were the spectator. Did the parade have a theme? What was the weather like? And what is something in your waking life worth showing off? The next dream is about parents. Dreaming of your parents can vary from one person to the next, especially considering your relationship with them. Did your family appear exactly like themselves, or were they represented just by symbols? Sigmund Freud believed that parents show up in our dreams symbolically as royalty and authoritative figures. What traits did your parents have in the dream, and do they mirror the ones in their waking life? So look closely at your dream interaction and compare it with those in your waking life. Are you the protective guardian you admired or maybe desired from one of your parents? If not, how can you use your dream messages to enhance the qualities you feel you are lacking? If your parents have passed away, what messages were they imparting in the dream? Was it a coping mechanism for the absence, or more a visitation from beyond? Lastly, remember that dream symbols are often metaphorical, and that dreaming of parents might be a reminder to take care of yourself. What self-care routines and rules do you have in place right now? Ask yourself, how did your parents appear in your dream? Was it your mother or father or some other caregiver who visited you? What was your role in the dream, and who or what are you nurturing, protecting, and guiding right now? The next dream is the dream of performing or performance. They say that all the world is a stage, but performing on one is a common anxiety dream. Many ways are possible. You nailed it and you got a standing ovation, or you forgot your lines, or something horribly embarrassing had happened, or nobody showed up to watch you. Dreaming of being in the spotlight typically indicates the need for preparation, and these dreams might show up the night before a big presentation or after an upsetting incident you didn't handle well. How you feel on stage may also reflect how you are feeling in your waking life, vulnerable and maybe fearful, or confident and maybe proud. Like all anxiety dreams, use this one as a way to mentally prepare for the worst so that you shine like a star when your day comes. Why were you in the spotlight in your dream? How smoothly did it go? How did you feel in front of everyone? And what roles do you have right now in the present? The next card is the dream about phones, telephones, phones. The modern telephone in many ways changed communication forever. As it evolved into a mobile device, we came to use it less and less for actual phone calls and instead developed a genuinely addictive need for constant access. So look at how a phone showed up in your dream. Were you actually speaking to someone or communicating through your writing messages? Connection to other humans is vital to our existence. So consider who you might be missing or who you want to spend quality time with. Who might need to hear your beautiful voice right now? Whose voice do you need to hear? If the call was dropped or hard to hear because of poor reception, it may be an indication that you feel disconnected from something in your own life, a core emotion, a relationship, or an event of importance or trauma. If your dream phone was a modern smart device and scrolling through or using it caused negative emotions like stress, sadness, or even anger, perhaps it is quite simply time to unplug for a few minutes and make more tangible connections with yourself or your loved ones. Ask who was calling whom in your dream. What kind of phone was it? How were you using the phone? Did you just speak or did you write a message? And who is someone you need to call you right now? The next dream is about plants. Anyone who has a collection of house plants or tends a garden knows that it takes a lot of patience and lots of care to keep them alive and thriving. A symbol of nature, fertility, growth, and transformation. The plants start from a simple little seed and then develop into massive trees or beautiful flowers. They serve medicinal purposes as well as provide food, shelter, and even clothing. Dreaming of plants is a nudge to check in with your own personal growth and the patience it requires. When you dream of plants, what is noticeable? Maybe new blooms, or a hidden growth, or clumped roots, or dry soil. Think about each part of the plant and compare it to your current life and even your body. These dreams can be a fuel for even more growth. What needs watering and sun, or what part of you can serve as a beautiful gift to brighten someone's day? What kind of a plant did you see in your dream? How healthy was the plant? What was special about the plant? And what areas of your waking life are currently experiencing some growth? The next dream is about pregnancy and birth. Depending on how you feel about pregnancy or childbirth, this dream could potentially give you a lot of anxiety. Yes, the dream could literally be about pregnancy, whether yours or someone else's, but it doesn't have to be that. The physical act of being pregnant is one of creation. So think of that symbolically and how it relates to you. Are you in the early stages of a new project or some life change, some growing ideas, starting to become protective, nurturing them within yourself until they are ready to be born and shown to the world? Pregnancy, both literally and figuratively, can be a fragile and an emotional time. There might be something or someone in your life that needs some protecting. Because of the physical, hormonal, and emotional changes in the pregnant body, you may find your dreams to be heightened experiences. This is a perfect time to start some dream journal if you haven't already done that. Ask who was pregnant in my dream. What stage of pregnancy was it? How was the process? Was it painful or easy or comfortable? What projects or ideas am I gestating? Now we come to the dream about rabbits. They are quick, they are vigilant, and they are coordinated and very keen. So these are all traits of rabbits that you may need in your waking life right now, especially if a rabbit showed up in your dreams. Rabbits have long been known for their breeding capabilities, and because of them are often associated with sex. Because of their reproductive rate, they also indicate prosperity. A rabbit's foot is a symbol of good luck after all. And in the Chinese zodiac, the rabbit is a generous and likable creature. On the flip side, they are also seen as witty tricksters in folklore and in literature, or like the white rabbit in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, they might lure you into a new world of self-discovery. Think about what you are fortunate to have and what, if anything, you are creating. How can you bring your desires to fruition? How many rabbits did you see in your dream? And maybe were you a rabbit? Was the rabbit wild or domesticated? And what is in abundance in your waking life right now? Dreams about rainbows. After a storm, there comes a rainbow. After a rough patch, there is hope. Because of their diversity in color and the fact that they are a refraction of light, the rainbows have become a symbolic image of peace and good fortune. And the Buddhists, they use the rainbow flag as an identifier. Rainbows also serve as a celestial bridge in various religions and mythology, connecting heaven and earth. The Buddha has said to use a 7-colored staircase to descend back to earth. The emergence of a rainbow is a mesmerizing thing. So notice when your dream rainbow showed up and what in your waking life needs more light, more color, and also more hope. When and where did the rainbow appear in your dream? How did you feel when you saw it? Was anyone with you? And what is something that you are hopeful for? Now comes the dream about roller coasters. Originating from Russian ice slides in the 18th century, the roller coasters have become an amusement park staple for adventurous thrill seekers. Constructed of wood and of steel, new coasters are built each year and they compete to be the fastest and the steepest. Roller coasters are often metaphors for when you are experiencing life's ups, downs, twists, and turns. I am going through a roller coaster of emotions right now, maybe a familiar phrase to you. Think about what is going on in your waking life and how that relates to the roller coaster in your dreams. It might be time to relinquish control, let go of your fear, and just enjoy the ride. Well, for some it's enjoyment, for me, no thank you. How did you feel on the roller coaster? Was it safe? Was it scared? Were you scared? Or were you excited? Who were you riding with, if anyone? And are you generally a risk taker or are you more reluctant? And what adrenaline jolts have you experienced lately? Well, I hope you enjoy some adrenaline jolts without the need of going on a roller coaster. The next dream is about roses. Roses, the rose is the flower of Aphrodite and has been used in matters of the heart for centuries, in love potions, in spells, and also in fortune telling. Many of us are familiar with games like They Love Me, They Love Me Not, where we picked or plucked petals which determined whether a crush was interested in us. Well, that's long, long ago that I did that. So they are also an important symbol in Christianity, the roses, often aligned with the Virgin Mary and used in miracles and in messages from God. The rosary, used during prayer in Catholicism, translates to garland of roses. When looking at a rose symbolically, the color is equally important. So florography, that wisdom, or no, that, what is it called? That relates to flowers, identifies different messages within the types and the colors of flowers. Florography, I think, is the knowledge about flowers. So how did a rose show up in your dream? Know the health of the flower? Was it a vibrant bloom that indicated current or forthcoming love, while wilting petals might reveal the opposite? So what color was the rose? Did someone give it to you? Was it a cultivated rose or a growing wild rose? And what areas in your waking life could use some extra beauty? The next dream is running late. We all had that dream, I think, sometime in our life. This classic anxiety dream is up there with missing school and also with being chased. In these types of dreams, obstacles are often put in your path to prevent you from succeeding. You forget your luggage at home and you have to go back, so you miss your flight, for example. If this type of dream shows up with no obvious connection, like an upcoming deadline or an upcoming meeting or event, look a bit deeper. What are you afraid of missing out on? Do you perhaps have a milestone birthday coming up and haven't hit some of your life goals? Does the thought of missing a party make you spiral into despair? Use this dream to ask yourself what would happen if you did miss out or if you didn't achieve what you set out to do. Is there another opportunity to connect or to try again maybe? So ask, where were you going in your dream? What obstacles prevented you from getting there? Did you finally arrive? And what timely projects or deadlines do you have going on in your waking life? Now we come to the dream about salt. The salt. There is a lot to unpack in a tiny grain of salt. As its simplest, salt is a mineral that enhances a food's flavor. But there is so much more to it than that. Salt is essential to human life and can preserve foods for long periods of time. In ancient Rome, salt was used as currency, and it continues to be a part of religious ceremonies, purification rituals, and some superstitions. Because salt exists in water, yet evaporates and communicates on land, it is seen as both a water and an earth element. So think about your own connection with this mineral. Is there too much salt in your diet? Do you rely on it for sore muscle soaks? Because it can be a symbol of prosperity and also of bad luck. Connecting it to your daily life is the key here. Salt in dreams can serve as a reminder to spice up your life if you are feeling a bit bland, or, as the old idiom says, as a reminder to not take everything so literally, but rather with a grain of salt. Preserve what is important to you right now as well, by maybe writing down your thoughts and memories, or sharing some stories with your friends and family members. Ask, did you taste the salt in your dream? Where did you find the salt? Was the salt plentiful or was it scarce? And what is something that needs to be preserved right now in your life? The next dream is about school. You are dreaming about school. Well, I did that a lot as a kid because I didn't like school at all. Whether you are a current student or have not seen the inside of a classroom since childhood, chances are you have had a dream about school, and those dreams, they are rarely pleasant. Yes, I say yes to that. Scenarios might include missing class, realizing you haven't turned in any assignments the entire year, or an ability to find your classroom. So take your dream feelings out of the classroom and into your waking life. Were you afraid of looking silly in front of your peers or an authority figure? Was the hallway blocked and you didn't know how to reach your destination? Was learning a new subject excruciatingly difficult? Reflect on your current insecurities. But there is a good part about all this, and also about school, and that is learning and the pursuit of knowledge. Well, learning I always enjoyed, knowledge too. Think about what you need to learn about yourself right now. Or maybe the meaning is more external and it is just time to pick up a new hobby that engages and challenges you. I think I didn't like school as a kid because, well, the school wasn't the way schools are today. They do not encourage you to make yourself heard and give your kind of knowledge in the whole subject as well. So, that was the reason in my case. Was your dream about what you did learn, and were you then prepared for it? Who was the teacher? Was the school a familiar one? And what big project are you currently working on in your waking life? And to speak about who was the teacher, It is the most important thing in the story about schools. The teacher. If you like your teacher, then you learn everything. And if your teacher is not very sympathetic to you, then, well, you shut down and you do not learn the things you should learn. So, the next dream is about Snail, the snail. These small creatures have a surprising amount of symbolism attached to them. With their spiral-shaped shell, the snails represent cycles and beginnings, particularly those related to seasons and lunar cycles. The emergence of the snail from its shell can also be symbolic of birth. Carl Jung used snails to symbolize the self, with the conscious as the hard outer shell and the unconscious as the soft body inside. At a basic level, when we think of snails, we tend to think of their unhurried pace. When they show up in dreams, consider whether you need to slow down on a project or with a person in your waking life. Since we live in such a fast-paced society, take dreaming of such a slow-moving animal as a sign that you are in need of some stillness, even more so if you find yourself frustrated at a snail's leisurely speed. So, when you dream about a snail, were you the snail in your dream? What is your current housing situation like? What needs to slow down in your waking life right now? The next dream is about the snake. Snakes, they are rich in meaning. They are good and evil, male and female, life and death. The Ouroboros, a common symbol of a snake devouring its own tail, represents the birth and death cycle and its infinite loop. In myth, across cultures, snakes have keen intelligence and they partner with evil, sometimes serving as guardians of the underworld. In the biblical story of creation, a serpent tempted Adam and Eve to eat the forbidden fruit. We often fear snakes, especially venomous ones. If this emotion shows up in your dream, you may be encountering a stress-inducing obstacle in your life. The snakes shed their skin multiple times a year, and because of this, they are associated with change and transformation. They also represent intelligence and healing and appear on the caduceus, the staff of Hermes, and a universal symbol of medicine. Also, Kundalini, a dormant, powerful, divine feminine energy in Tantra yoga, is represented by a coiled serpent. Looking at how the snake showed up in your dream and your response to it can help determine the message it was trying to convey to you. So ask, where did I see the snake? Could I communicate with the snake? Did it bite me? What areas of my waking life are undergoing maybe some change? A few more and then we quit, okay? The next dream is about spilling. You're spilling your soup, you're spilling your water. In the buffet of life, we can easily put too much on our plate and so causing the gravy to spill off the sides, tripping onto the floor. This may sound like a cheesy metaphor, but we are talking about dreams and symbols, and that is how the dream brain works. Usually when you spill or drop something, it represents a loss of control or overflowing emotions. Whether you are clumsy or just carrying too much, something is going to hit the floor and be hard to recover. In your dream, look at what you were carrying and how it spilled. If it was fluid in nature, this is often a symbol of your emotions and your subconscious. The vessel it was in can represent your body and your brain. So think about how you responded when you spilled something in your dream. How did it make you feel? Embarrassed or relieved of a burden maybe? Perhaps the spill was just what you needed to open up to. Consider this dream theme a wake-up call to carry only what you can hold comfortably. There will be time to go back for more when your hands are free again. Ask, what did I spill in my dream? What kind of vessel were I carrying? What did I have too much of my plate or otherwise right now? And what am I struggling to hold in? Four more. The next dream is stairs. If you use the theory that a house is a symbol of our body and soul, a set of stairs can represent so much. A method of rising to the top, having multiple levels to our psyche, or overcoming some obstacles. Stairs are also a common spiritual symbol. Across religions, ladders are used as symbols to connect heaven and earth. Angels and the Buddha alike used ladders in the Bible, and Jacob had a dream about a ladder guiding him to God. How did the stairs show up in your dream? Noticing their condition and whether you were going up or down can be very important, especially if we consider stairs as a tool of enlightenment. Walking confidently upstairs is an indication of progress, but walking up never-ending stairs is an evidence that your journey seems unending. You may be experiencing self-doubt and have a fear of failure. Noticing how you feel during such a dream can be the key to your next step in your waking life. So ask this: did I ascend or did I descend the stairs? Did I reach my destination? How much of my energy did it take to go upstairs? And what intellectual or spiritual goals am I pursuing in my waking life right now? Now comes storms, the weather condition, the storms. An approaching storm is a literal and symbolic device for a major change on the horizon. A lot may be coming your way all at once, and how might you feel during such an event? And then also about dreaming about a storm which can prepare you for some inevitable change. Storms, they serve as metaphors and allegories throughout literature and art. So is a hurricane used as a symbol to show the senselessness in nature and its disregard for human needs, as in the book Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston, and in Kate Chopin's book The Storm, a brief and raging storm represents a quick and passionate affair between two lovers. And in Edward Munch's painting The Storm, we were left wondering if the main figure is in anguish over a physical storm or one brewing inside their own brain. When the storm clears, look around. Did you act with grace under pressure, or are you picking up the pieces from an emotional outburst? Different types of storms, they may give further insight as to what your dream could mean. So let us look at a few in more detail. There are the floods. The floods, after a long bout of rain, can come a destructive flood. In Christianity, the flood from the book of Genesis washed away sin and was meant as a reboot. In your dream, what storm passed and what murky pool of emotions did remain? What will it take to clear away the water and restore what was submerged? There are the hurricanes. They are slow-moving and destructive forces of nature that, with a spiral shape and centered eye, have an otherworldly feel. The English word hurricane stems from the names of powerful deities. The Mayan god of storms, who was Huracan, and the Taino god of evil, who was Hurricane. With its connotation of hard-hitting turbulence, a hurricane in a dream can be an indicator of some worries, frenzied emotions, or being tossed about by the winds of change in your life. When you have the rain coming up in the dream, rainy days can be dreary, but symbolically we can see rain as washing away negativity and allowing new ideas to grow. The darker the sky and the harder the rain, the brighter you will feel once it clears. Perhaps at the end you will find a rainbow representing hope and good luck. When you dream about snow, a blanket of fresh snow is a serene and peaceful image indeed, and represents purity, calm, and quiet. But the cold and wet nature of snow can also be harsh and brutal. Are you experiencing cold and icy emotions, either internally or from someone else? Do you have something warm to help you thaw out from the frigid climate? And lastly, the tornadoes. These funnel clouds, they happen fast, destroying anything in their pathway with very little time to prepare. When in the Wizard of Oz, the wonderful Wizard of Oz, Dorothy encountered one hurricane in the book, it literally swept her off her feet, transporting her to a new world where she learned that she already possessed the strength she wished for. What whirlwind are you going through, and what inner strength can you summon? So when you dream about storms, what kind of a storm was it? Ask this. Was anyone or anything harmed by the storm? How did you feel during the storm? And what big changes are happening in your waking life at this moment? 2 more and then we are done, okay? So be patient, it's over soon. Now we come to the superpowers. The superpowers, yeah, we need them. How many times have you wished you could freeze time, teleport, or even fly? Through lucid dreaming, these superpowers can become available to you with time and with practice. Once you are able to master controlling your dreams, the world is your oyster. But what if the powers in your dream are out of your control? When we dream of being able to do things we cannot do in waking life, like freezing time, it could be a heightened response to traits and qualities we are striving for. Perhaps you have too much on your to-do list right now and you are struggling to get it all done. Or you have the power of invisibility because you are feeling unnoticed and you want to do something to garner the attention of others. So look at how the superpower could benefit your waking life and make adjustments so that you become your best, your super self. What superpower did you possess in your dream? How did you use it? Who knew about your powers? And what areas in your waking life could benefit from a bit more pep? And the last one is the dream about tattoos. Tattoos, a common form of self-expression, have had different significance throughout history. So in ancient Egypt culture, only women were tattooed, adorned with images of goddesses in hopes of protecting mothers during childbirth. In Samoan communities, the application of Tao is considered a rite of passage into adulthood. On the other side of the world, the Inuit women have elaborate facial tattoos to highlight their accomplishments and spiritual beliefs. Tattoos also have a darker side to them. Throughout history, they have been used for branding people, such as to identify prisoners at several concentration camps, including Auschwitz during World War II. Regardless of intention, the tattoos, they are for the most part a permanent addition to your body. Getting one is a commitment and visible evidence of individuality. When dreaming about new ink, think about whether you already have tattoos and what permanent statement you wish you could make right now. So when you dream about tattoos, who was getting the tattoo in your dream? What did the tattoo look like? What part of the body was the tattoo on? And what public statements are you needing to make in your waking life? That was my dream symbols reading for today. I hope you somewhat liked it a little bit and found it maybe interesting. I wish everyone a wonderful day, a great rest of the week. Take care and goodbye.